Hi, my name's Sean Thompson. I'm part of the technical services team at Crown Paints and I specialise in Sadolin wood care. In this video we're going to concentrate on Sadolin Classic and Extra as an ideal system for your joinery. Okay, now we're going to show you the benefits of applying Classic and Extra as a system. We'll first of all show you Classic and why you put it on as a base stain. The main thing that you're trying to achieve with a base stain is that you're trying to even out the porosity and the colour of the timber. Timber itself is actually going to be very, very thirsty, and what we want is this low build system to satisfy that, even it out, as we'll see in just a moment, so that when that dries, that's an ideal base coat for the top coat Extra to go onto. We don't want to stint putting this stuff on because we don't want any of the top coat, which is ultimately going to provide your durability, to disappear into the timber. Okay, that is what is going to provide you durability. So it's important that we do put enough of this on. So obviously, let's open the can. Now, hopefully without stating the obvious, it is very, very important to take the time and to stir the product, like we've said in one of our previous videos. Within this can, you've got the pigment, the additives, the dryers, etc. And this process of stirring it and making sure that this is all lifted up from the bottom of the can is important to make sure that when it's applied to the surface, it's nice and even. We've already prepared our board. This is all nice and clean and has been degreased. The important thing is that we haven't left this a long period of time before actually redecorating it, just in case there might be some more oils or some extractives that may have come out of the timber over a prolonged period of time, i.e. a week. So what we're now going to do is actually apply the system, the first coat of Classic, onto what we would imagine this to be some joinery, so i.e. a window or a door. What's important is to make sure that you're not shy with how much that you're putting it on. And as you can see, when we're first applying the system, I'm not worried about what direction that I'm actually applying this on. This system is obviously ideal for joinery, but the principles still follow. Get the product on there, make sure that the porosity of this timber is satisfied. And as you can see, I'm topping up and refilling my brush quite regularly. Sadolin Classic is a low build product, so as you can see, it's quite thin material to put on, but this will make this easy and make sure that it's very, very absorbent. Different timber types will of course have different variations, so it is important to make sure that you put enough of it on. And I'll just finish off by laying off lightly by using the tip of the brush. Should always lay it off in the direction of the grain. This particular product will have a drying time of about 12 to 16 hours. You'll have a good few hours to enable you to keep your wet edge. So if you do see any areas that have either sagged, run, or there's a little bit of a problem with, you can always quickly just go back over that all as one, just to make sure that that's all nice and even. That overnight drying time now, that will dry. You're then ready to put your coat of Extra on as your first coat of your top coat system, and there you're ready to go. We're now going to move to our top coat product, which is Sadolin Extra. The top coat product is designed to give you your durability. This is what is going to ultimately provide you with the weather protection on your windows and doors. These products all have to contain pigment within them, okay, and there is a variety of colours that you can get in these particular systems. This particular shade, Redwood, is obviously, this is designed to complement the Classic product. So once we've stirred the Extra, this is now ready to be applied. Obviously this one still has to dry. So if we get a board that's already got a coat of base coat on this. Now, just before we go ahead, what you can do is that you can denib this. You may find that the process of putting the base stain on will slightly raise the grain of the timber. What can be done is very simply, is just lightly denib the surface by going over the surface with the sandpaper, P180 or P240. Again, make sure that you go in direction of the grain like we've explained before. I'm being very careful not to do that too heavily to actually remove the coating. Give that a dust off. And on the basis that we're continuing decorating, we won't need to degrease that at all. That's already been done in the previous preparation. So now we're ready to actually apply our top coat. Again, your top coat gets applied exactly the same as what your base coat does. So get the product on. Work it against the grain. We want it to adhere as best as it possibly can do. And as much as the Classic has provided the cleanest, best base for this to go onto, technique's also a good thing. And once again, hopefully you'll notice that I'm actually loading the brush up quite regularly to make sure that we get enough product on, because ultimately what we want is that when this product is dry, it has got the correct film build as recommended in our technical data sheets. In order to achieve the durability times that we are expecting out of this system, which potentially will be 4 to 5 years before a maintenance coat is required, you do need to make sure that you get enough product on. Once more, if I need to go back across the whole surface and just make sure that I've done the best job possible, just take a little bit of time, and we're always laying off in the direction of the grain. And what you've done there is just making sure that you've got a nice even board. That's your first coat. So once that first coat of Extra has dried, the following day, about 12 to 16 hours later, you've then got the opportunity to put the very final coat on, and that's your full system. So it's 1 coat of Classic, 2 coats of Extra. It is a 3-day system, but that will ultimately give you around a 4 to 5 year durability cycle, that when maintenance coats are required, all we need to do is to give it a clean down and make sure that 1 further coat of Extra is applied to make sure that that brings that all together. So just to recap, Classic and Extra. Classic is to be used as a system in conjunction with Extra. 1 coat of Classic as the base coat on your joinery, followed by 2 coats of Extra. That's your top coat system. They both work in conjunction with each other, a tried and tested system, a fantastic colour range, and that will give you 4 to 5 year durability. That it just means that at the end of that period of time, a simple clean down and the further coat of Extra just to get it topped up will keep your wood looking fantastic. So that's Sadolin Classic and Sadolin Extra as a system that you can use on all your joinery. That gives you a quality finish and excellent durability.